Hi everybody, it's D-Halleck7 again, and once again I apologize if you can't hear me over the background craziness of my kids eating lunch and watching YouTube on dueling iPads. I'm trying to get this done in the 23 minutes before their therapies start, so cross your fingers, because I can't do it during their therapies because Jesse's potty training today, so it's going to be crazy. So if anybody wants to send alcohol, post my address if you want. So anyway, we're going to make Low Point bacon jam, sugar-free red onion bacon jam. I use this on my Gastro Pub Burger in the link I will provide in the comment section. But this is also great to use as a dip, an accoutrement to any dish you would like. It's fantastic, and it's 1 point per quarter cup. So none of this ridiculous nonsense of a serving size for a sauce or a condiment is 2 teaspoons or a tablespoon. No! We're going for Low Point bulk food, baby. So the key to this, you can use turkey bacon or you can use center cut real bacon. Go ahead and gasp. I know. All I care about is points, people. I don't care if it's real bacon or turkey bacon. So for this, I'm using Oscar Mayer center cut. Center cut bacon is lower point than regular bacon. In most brands, it's nearly identical in points to turkey bacon, and it has more flavor, so do what you want. For this, we are using 4 points of any variety bacon you want. I am using 4½ slices of center cut Oscar Mayer bacon. So, just gonna slice one of those babies in half. And here is 4 points, 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half slices of Oscar Mayer center cut turkey bacon. I have a decent size, this is about a 10-inch frying pan that I have heating up right now. Gonna hit it with cooking spray, put the bacon in, and bring the camera over. Let's go. All right, quick side note, forgot to mention, while the bacon is cooking, take that time and slice up your onions. Now the recipe calls for 2 large onions. You want to end up with between 3 to 4 cups of sliced red onion. However, at the grocery store they didn't have large onions this morning, so I just got a bag of the little ones. So for you folks who are still newer in the kitchen, I'll just show you on a small one how I like to do it. There's many different ways. Everybody has their own little way to slice onions and all that. Take the skin off. For this particular recipe, I want long strands that are thin of red onion, so I slice it in half, and then just slice it about a 1/4 inch thick, 1/8 to 1/4 slices of red onion, so that you end up with the long little strands that you break up, set aside in a cup, and you end up with anywhere between 3 to 4, doesn't matter. And we have our bacon that has been cooking. I just removed it. And we have the drippings that have come out of the bacon, which are factored into the points of the recipe. When you scan the bacon, the nutritional information, it takes into account the fat and the calories. Just because these drippings come out of the bacon, they don't magically gain new points that conjure out of thin air. Those points for this liquid gold are factored into the points for your bacon. Just use it in this dish and count it with the points of the bacon. We used 4 points of bacon. This is the byproduct. We're going to cook our onions in that. In the same way that if you cook bacon, factored your 2 points for bacon, cooked it, and then you fried your egg in it, if you're on blue and purple, your egg doesn't magically gain points because it's cooked in those bacon drippings. You already counted those bacon, the fat that comes out of the bacon. It's in the points for the bacon. So, deal. Use common sense. The grease doesn't magically conjure points out of thin air. It's already factored into the recipe. So we are going to cook our onions in that. Let's go. Okay, so in this pan, I cooked my 4½ pieces of center cut bacon. Going to set that aside. I have this going over medium heat. I'm going to add my red onions. Keep up at medium heat. So pretty much I cranking the heat up to this, not cranking, it's at medium. And to this I am adding 3/4 of a cup of chicken broth, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 1/4 teaspoon each of salt and black pepper, 1 teaspoon of natural 0-point sweetener au choice, and 1/4 teaspoon of molasses. Now if you have a 0-point brown sugar substitute, use a teaspoon of that and still add the 1/4 teaspoon of molasses. Pretty much what I'm doing with the molasses and the regular sweetener is I am turning that into brown sugar. We're going to pour this in. And then I should have got this beforehand. All right, we are going to bring this to a simmer, which it's doing. And now cover this and let it cook for 15 minutes at just over medium heat. All right, while our onions are simmering right now, swish pan, I crumbled up and chopped up all of the bacon into, not super fine, but to small bits. Because after 15 minutes, once this reduces down and all the liquid evaporates, we are going to pour in another small amount of beef broth and add in the bacon, stir it up, let it reduce more, and then we will have our edible gold. All right, it has been 15 minutes. I'm gonna remove the lid. You can see the red onions have reduced quite a lot, but now we are going to really get in there. First thing we're going to do, add our cooked crumbled bacon, stir it in, and now we are going to add what will give the most flavor and the jam consistency. We are adding an extra 3/4 cup of beef broth mixed with what was it again? Oh, 1/2 teaspoon of smoked paprika, a 1/2 teaspoon of unsweetened cocoa powder, which will give a nice subtle earthy flavor and really give a good coloring to this. Plus 2 teaspoons of balsamic vinegar, which is 0 points. And depending on the brand that you use, 1 to 2 tablespoons of sugar-free maple syrup or pancake syrup. We're going to stir this in. So we're going to have a little bit more vinegary sweetness from the balsamic. We're going to have some smokiness from the smoked paprika and the bacon. And then we are going to have a little bit more sweetness from the maple syrup, which will replace honey and molasses, which will add a lot of points. And this will give it to us 4 zeros. So now we are going to do the same thing again and cover this up and let it go. It'll be, let's put this up to medium high, right under medium high. And this will go until the liquid pretty much dissolves and it becomes a big jam-like consistency, which should be anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes. Keep an eye on it and stir it because you don't want it to burn. Okay, everybody, it has been this has been 12 minutes. Let me turn this off. And pretty much all the liquid has evaporated. You come in every now and then and stir just to make sure it doesn't burn, which unfortunately I couldn't do because potty training the kids, so there's a little bit of crispiness around here, but that's okay, this still tastes fantastic. Let me get a spoon. So you can see how this is just very nicely caramelized onions. It has the bacon. It goes great on a sandwich, on a burger. You could put it on a flip-flop and it would be fantastic. And now let's measure it and see how much we got out of it. So I get asked a lot how I know how much the different recipes make. I pretty much have a couple of tall measuring cups that I just, whenever I make something, I pour it in and see how much it made, and then just figure out the serving sizes from there. With the amount of onions I used, this made 1.5 cups. So that is 6 1/4 cup servings. I just put that in the builder. So on all plans, that would come to the first 1/2 cup would be 1 point. So yeah, 2 1/4 cup servings of red onion balsamic bacon jam for 1 point. You might get more yield or less depending on how much red onion you use. You could stretch the recipe. And then just put it in the builder. And remember, use 4 points of bacon of choice. You could use turkey, you could use center cut, whatever you'd like.